everybody, it is Liz with Liz Art Finds. We are here today with another haul video. I am a part-time reseller on eBay and Niknax.net, and you'll notice we have clouds behind us today because later today is my live show on Niknax.net at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and I will be selling some birds. So you'll see the link in the description below where you can go check that out. It will be a little chaotic and crazy. It's only 30 minutes. I've already got a bunch of pre-bids, so it's gonna be a fun show. All right, so this week we're gonna focus just on one thing, and that is the grand opening of a new Savers about 45 minutes from me. I took off of work and I went down there to check it out. Before I get to that, just a couple quick things. The solds. So I had 3 sales this week. Again, I haven't been listing like crazy. However, I did start listing more things over on eBay this week. And obviously I listed a bunch of stuff on Niknax for the zoo. But over on eBay, we had 2 sales within 24 hours of listing. The first one was this Swedish Dala horse. These sell so fast. If you ever see them, just pick them up. I thought because he was a newer version, he might not sell as fast as the old one that I had, that sold immediately. But he sold immediately, so I'm probably pricing him a little low. I don't know, but I paid 50 cents for this guy, okay? He sold for $28 really quickly. So my profit on him was $22.87. So that was cool. Over on Niknax, I'm just skipping because I want to get back to the best one last. I sold this little turtle trinket box. I had paid $1.99 for it. It sold for $9. Profit on that was $3.98. And then I had this thing. So earlier in the week, I purchased some things at auction. I went to pick them up on Friday. This guy. Now, you may think he's a Fenton alley cat. He is not a Fenton alley cat. He is they called him the Happy Kitty, and he was made by Mosser Glass for the Fenton Art Glass, something of America. Collectors, there you go. Fenton Art Glass Collectors of America. And they make them in limited quantities. And this was the 2020 version, and the color is called Pumpkin, and it's a yellow and orange slag glass. And the coloring on him was just amazing. The way that it just, I don't know, the way that the orange kind of hit the highlights, really great piece. I ended up paying $60 for him. When I was bidding on him, I was looking at comps that were the bigger one. They were 6 inches, they're 11 inches, and they're selling $500 and more, right? And there was one for $775. I'm like, oh my gosh. So of course I bid this up. Well, I continued bidding up to $60 on this. I got it at 60. It turns out that he was only 4.5 inches. So it was a completely different thing. Those other ones with the really high prices on them were actual Fenton glass. This is Mosser glass, not Fenton glass. So it's a little bit different, but there's still demand for it. So I sold him within a really short period of time, like less than an hour, for $155. So the last sold on this was $150 back in 2017. So I probably should have bumped it up just a bit more. But when I put in the $155, I immediately got an offer for $100. Went back and forth with that buyer. They offered $120. I'm like, it's too soon. Hit me up in a week, right? And then within another 5 or 10 minutes, I got the full price. Somebody actually bought it at $155. So that was really exciting. So my profit on that after all the things was $66.63. So I spent $60 on him plus a buyer's premium. But anyway, $66.63 on this guy. And I bought other things at auction. So, you know, the buyer's premium was split across a bazillion things. But we're not talking about that today. Today, we're going to talk about the grand opening of the Savers down in Burke, Virginia, which is 45 minutes from me. But I didn't actually go to the grand opening. On Tuesday night, they sent an email around to the club members, the local club members, and offered a sneak peek private event yeah, so anyway, it started at 5. I wanted to get down there at 4 to get in line and work. You know, it was just really hard to get out of work. So I didn't get down there until about, I don't know, 20 minutes before the opening. And I got in line and I waited for 20 minutes and I got in. So most of the footage that I took was going in. Once I got in, it was chaotic. So I didn't get video in there. I got a few still pictures of some things in my cart, and that's basically it. But we're gonna go through all the things here in a couple minutes. Just a couple anecdotes. My video is hysterical in that I'm not very good at doing video. I did a couple takes on the drive down there in the car, which when I got there, I'm like, we're here at a Savers grand opening. And I nearly got hit by a car in the parking lot. So I cut that one short. And then I'm like, okay, people, we're here at a Savers grand opening. And some girl comes up to me and she's like, excuse me, do you know what the line is for? That's probably the video that I'll drop in here. But I gave up after that. So we're gonna see a Savers grand opening. We're gonna mostly see standing in line, the line moving, the doors opening, and then some still pictures. I think I have one video of the of one of the things I picked up. So anyway, I'm gonna take a second, pause, and we're gonna cut here. Okay guys, we are on the way. We're doing something a little different today. We are on the road. We are going to a grand opening of a Savers. And yeah, so let's go. And apparently there's already a big line.
Excuse me, do you know what that line is for?
Well, that was an experience. So it is now 6:39. So I got here probably around 4:39 and waited in line for, well, until 5, so 20 minutes. It was a zoo, as I figured. It was just so busy in there, so I couldn't really film because it was chaotic. Like there were a lot of people, like a lot of people, and some people had carts and some people had the little things that you push on the floor. So I ended up with, I spent $100 and I think like 21 cents or something like that. And I probably have at least $400 worth of stuff, maybe more. I'll have to lay it all out when I get home and figure it out. But, you know, I tried, I really tried. I wanted so badly to record in there, and there was just no way that was possible. That wasn't much, but it's my first attempts at actually doing video out on the road. Anywho, let's go through what we got. So it was fun. It was really fun. What I love about grand openings is they gather things for a long period of time. And then when they open, it's a whole bunch of good stuff mixed in with the not so good stuff. So any typical day you go to a thrift store, you just never know what you're going to get. It depends on the things that have come in the past 24 hours. With a grand opening, they're collecting and collecting and collecting things and putting things on their shelves for months, you know. So it's usually really good stuff. I was planning on going back for the actual grand opening, but work got chaotic and I just couldn't get there. So let's go through the things in no particular order. So I found this cat tray. Okay, so this is a metal tray with cat on bookshelf. It's got some scratching, like it's been used. It's from 1983. The artist is Lowell Herrero. The company is Vandor, and it was made in Japan. I picked this up for $3.99, and the solds on these are 18 to 24. It does seem to have a little dent now that I'm seeing it with the ring light. Oh my goodness. So let's call it 18, but still, it was a fun little one to pick up. And yeah, I mean, it's not in the best shape, but it's not in the worst shape either. So that was fun. And then, let's see, I'll show you one of my faves. This. So this is a lucite napkin holder, owl. It's old. And it glows under black light. My black light's in the other room, so I can't show you, but lucite glows. That's kind of one of the hallmarks of lucite. So it glows, and it's awesome. And I already have it listed in my bird sale for today on Niknax. So I paid, let me see, I'm not in order here. I paid $7.99. So I paid a little much for him. They sell typically 18 to 24. I've started him at 12. I already have a bid for 12, and hopefully the bidding will go up from there. And I'll let you know where it ends up. So that one was really fun. The other thing that was really fun, I went over to the purse section after I had gone through all the hard goods, and we'll come back to the hard goods in a sec. And, you know, there were people that went there right away and found a lot of things, but for some reason, this was still there. And you can see that little hang tag. This is a Coach bag. And it was in general in really good condition. I mean, I did a bit of cleaning on it. I used the Coach products to, you know, clean and moisturize. There are a couple small stains on the backside, and I don't know if that's going to be a problem for someone or not. I mean, they're so small. There's a little stain over here, and there's a stain somewhere over here. And then there's this tiny little ink stain. I think it's on this side, right there, right? But that's it. I mean, the inside is pristine. I mean, I did clean it a bit, but it is in fantastic condition. It's authentic as far as I can tell. It's the Coach Hampton bag. The color is turquoise. It's got these little snaps on the side to extend it and make it smaller. It doesn't have a shoulder strap, but it never did. So this is intact. It's an absolutely gorgeous piece. So I got this. Now, they did have it marked up. Maybe that's why nobody picked it up. I paid $31.99 for it. I've got it listed right now. This is actually listed on eBay right now if you're interested. I've got it listed at $119. And I am open to offers because, I mean, that's on the high end, I think, of what it's worth, and especially with those marks on it. So, you know, if you make a reasonable offer, or someone makes a reasonable offer, I will likely accept as long as it's reasonable. And I'll probably drop that price in a week or two, a little bit. The next thing I picked up in the same area, I still don't know what it is. So this is a mystery. You guys can help me solve it. It is leather, which is why I picked it up. And it's like these saddlebags, but it's miniature, okay? Seems to be brand new. Does not have any wear to it. I don't know if it's for like a kid's toy, like a toy pony, is kind of what I'm thinking in my head. But what's weird is there's a listing online. The only thing that Google Lens picks up is, it says cat saddlebag, and it is a TikTok video. I do not have TikTok, and I cannot make the video play. So if one of you wants to take a screenshot of this thing, run it into Google Lens, look at that TikTok video, and message me what the heck this is, if it says, let me know in the comments. It's clearly a saddlebag. It's clearly too small for a horse or a motorcycle or anything normal sized. But it's, you know, it's got stamping on it. It's clearly, it's like this handmade leather piece. So I picked it up. I mean, the hardware is a little rusty. It's not in great condition that way, but it doesn't appear to have been used. And I just want to know what it is. So I paid $3.19 for it. I have no idea of the value. I'm going to say 8 to 12. It could be 50. Regular saddlebags are over $100, like actual ones that you would use. But I don't know what this is. I just thought it was cool. I used to do leather work back in the day, so I picked it up. Let me know in the comments what you think this is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let us move on because we found some more really good stuff. This one. This was the one that blew my mind, okay? I couldn't believe it was still sitting there because by the time I got to it, it was probably 10, 15 minutes into when I had been there. But it was on a lower shelf, so maybe people missed it. But look at the quality. First of all, this is Fenton, okay? It's a melon pitcher. And it's been decorated and apparently by an external company. If you date this, it's from the 1940s to 1950s. Okay, I've put this in the Fenton group for like online, like, what is this? I don't know what this is. And somebody said that the company that decorated it was called Tyndale. What's interesting to me, if you look up Tyndale, it mostly refers to a similar pattern as this, but with gold roses and typically on peach crest. So it's got like a pink inside. I haven't seen anything online that says Tyndale did this particular pattern, but there is an expert who has advised that that was the company that made or that did the decorating on this piece. And I believe the trim is gold paint. I don't know. But what my comments were when I put it in the, when I submitted it for review was like, it looks old. I mean, I think it's old, but it looks too good, if you know what I mean. Because whoever had this, look at the care they took of this. There is no wear on this paint. There is no wear on anything, which is mind-boggling to me to find in a thrift store. So I only paid $4.79 for this beautiful, beautiful piece. They sell 30 to 75. This will probably be, I would say, in the 45 to 60 range. Don't quote me on that. You know, Fenton doesn't have, some Fenton pieces don't sell super high, the pictures. I mean, it totally depends on the piece, depends on the colors, depends on the design, depends how rare it is. Like, I just don't know all these things. I don't know enough. So anyway, I just thought it was spectacular and I couldn't leave it. So anyway, that was one of the best things I found that day. I also found, and I'm sad I don't have my little black light over here, I also found this little green, it's wet still. I washed it a day or so ago. But it's got a stain inside, which is really weird. I think it's on the inside. I have tried so hard to get this stain out. It's like an orange stain. It's a uranium glass vase, kind of swung. You can see the top here. I mean, it doesn't have the fingers on it, but you can see that it was kind of spun like this at the end. It's got etching down here of flowers, and it glows bright green, like it is uranium glass for sure. Not a huge value on it. You know, what's interesting is I'm seeing mold seams here, so I'm just questioning my comment here about how it was swung at the top, because you can see the mold seams, like it's a straight line across. So I'm questioning, but it is definitely uranium glass. It is definitely older. I paid $2.39 for it. The value is like 10 to 15, and with the staining on the inside, which I've done the denture tab thing, I've done the little bottle brush thing, I've done a bunch of things to try to clean it, and can't seem to get it out. So I think that's going to devalue it a little bit. And of course I didn't notice it in the store, but it was kind of a fun little pickup. I picked up these soup bowls. So these are actually either latte mugs or soup bowls. They are Studio Pottery. They are signed Robinson. That's upside down. They are signed Robinson. So the artist on these was Kathy and David Robinson. They were in New Hampshire. We've probably talked about them before because I know the names are familiar. They retired in 2020. after 50 years of doing pottery. So I've got pictures. Let me see what I pulled up here. I have a picture of after they retired, when they were taking some of their stuff to Vermont to a store or gallery. So it says, yeah, Vermont Gift Barn is where they were taking some of their stuff at the end. So basically, it says, reminiscent of a landscape, each glaze was inspired by nature, combines artistry, imagination, and skill. Hand-thrown pieces, lead-free, microwave dishwasher safe, yada yada. Kathy and David Robinson of Weare, W-E-A-R-E, New Hampshire, spent a lifetime creating beautiful, functional pottery. Instant classic, their work quickly became best-selling pottery within the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen within their galleries. As their work evolved, they developed luscious glazing techniques reminiscent of New Hampshire's mountains in a diverse color palette, including rich, vibrant colors as well as soothing pastels. Much to the chagrin of many who came to know and loved their work, they finally decided to retire in the spring of 2020 after over 50 years of production. It's impressive, right? And their glaze work, I mean, I can see how they say that it, you know, kind of is like the mountains and stuff. You definitely get that feel. Just beautiful work, reminiscent in a way of Bill Campbell, right? Just some really, really beautiful glaze work. So because of their reputation and the quality of their work, their stuff does command pretty decent prices at resale, sorry. So I paid $3.19 for the pair. One recently sold for $35, a pair recently sold for $66. So somewhere between $65 and $75 on the value of those two pieces. They're both in perfect condition. So that was a good one. Okay, so then I found these pewter pieces. Oh, they're so heavy. So these are signed and they're numbered casts. The artist is Michael Ricker. Okay, it says right there, Ricker. This one says 1989 on it, or 1980? Ooh, 1989. And it's number 444 out of 2250. Okay, now this one has this spot here. I think it's like a business card holder, maybe. I don't think it's a napkin holder because they just flop over. It's definitely a holder for something. So I'll have to try putting some business cards in there, seeing how that works, or maybe even larger, maybe recipe cards. Maybe, you know, if you have a recipe card and you're working in the kitchen. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know what that holder there would be for. So this guy was the more expensive of the two. I paid $6.39 for him. The solds on these are right around $24, $24.99, $23.99. We'll just call it around $24. Okay, and perfect condition other than a little bit of tarnish because of age. The other one I found was a Pegasus. So this is the flying horse, also Michael Ricker. And this one is signed right there. Okay. And this one says 1987, number 1529 out of 3,500. So this one had a larger run. And this one I got for $4.79. And again, right around 24 on the resale on these guys. I wrote down 18 to 24. But the most recent was at $24.99. So just beautiful work. Michael Ricker, I got some information on him. He passed away in 2006. That is Michael Ricker. He introduced the first line of pewter collectibles in 1968. And then the company grew and grew and grew. And they had different runs of different critters and pieces each year. So it says each year over 250 tons of Old English pewter ingots are melted down to cast Michael's limited edition sculptures and other works of art. Over 250,000 individual pewter collectibles are made annually by their casting studio. And then he passed in 2006. And his sister and brother formed a new company, Designs by Ricker. to carry on the legacy established by Michael, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they are still producing, exhibiting, and selling through the last remaining gallery pieces that they had in stock. So kind of fun. And it says the most famous Michael Ricker sculpture is a large-scale model of a 19th century town entitled Park City, America Remembered. It was done in pewter for President Gerald Ford in 1986. So that's kind of cool. So those were the two pieces that I found there. Okay, what else? I have more. So we'll do a little bit of glass. So the fused glass, I found this piece. And I was excited about it because it was different and I'd never seen anything like it. And it's got this 3D ant on it. However, always a catch, right? These were actually sold as kits. So, or not even kits, instructions. So a glass company called Oceanside Compatible put together like, you need this many of this, you know, so many diamonds, so many triangles, 3 of the like pebbles in different sizes, and then the stringers in black. And so like they made a list of the pieces you would need to create this piece. And they put instructions online that were free and downloadable. So anybody can go to their site and download this pattern with the list of pieces that you need to buy. And then you can go to the website for the glass company and buy the pieces of glass and create this masterpiece. So it's not a one of a kind and it's not artist signed, although the person who made this was very good because, you know, the edges are rounded, their form is fantastic, they don't have any movement of the stringers. Stringers are really tricky to work with. They slide when you're fusing your glass sometimes. You typically glue everything down and the glue burns off in the kiln. But stringers are super hard to work with, at least when I was doing my little fused glass era. Anywho, so I paid, let's see, where are you? Fused glass plate, $7 and, nope, I did not. $4.79, sorry, a little bit of dyslexia there. So I have absolutely no idea of the value of these because I haven't seen any sold. All I've seen sold is the kits. So I'm going to call it 12 to 15. Could go higher. Just depends. But I think that would be the range of a normal fused glass plate in that size. It might go 12 to 18. Could go higher if it's really something special. But I think 12 to 15 is a reasonable estimate on this. The other fused glass piece I found was really fun. This is an ornament, and this is all in its original packaging with the artist statement and information on the artist. So somebody bought this as a museum at a museum, gifted it to someone, my guess, and the person donated it. So this is a piece by Susan Bradshaw. She's an artist in, well, I'm not sure where she is, but the pieces are sold in California at the Monterey Bay Aquarium in Monterey, California. So it says she works with glass at Woven Time Studios. Pieces of sheet glass are cut to create the basic shapes. Frits of crushed and powdered glass are added to enhance the image. They're then heated in a kiln to 1400 degrees Fahrenheit, fusing them together. Let's see. It just says Susan likes the way the glass feels in her hands, the waves and undulations, the cold, smooth textures. What she loves most about fused glass is the dance of light with the glass. It's a constantly changing dance. On sunny days, it's a lively, sparkly dance. On foggy or rainy days, it's a slow, sensuous dance. In the evening, it becomes a 2-beat dance of reflected light and shadow. It's interesting perspective, right? So this is still new in package, which is fantastic. Let's see, I paid $2.23, which is great. You know, I mean, that's a really good price for this piece. I would value this at 18 to 20, okay? And that is still new, so that should sell fairly quickly once I decide where I'm gonna list it. Okay, then I found this ashtray from Holland. Okay, still got the little ashtray things. It's got these little 3D clogs on it, which is so cute. And it's signed on the back. I don't know if that's right side up or upside down. There we go. Okay. Excuse me. The similars online are marked Delft, which is great. I don't know if this is Delft or not. I paid $3.15. I would put it at $8 to $12 on the resale on that. Excuse me, I have a little tickle in my throat. Oh boy. I got these Blue Sky Clayworks Kissing Fish Shakers. So these are fun. The salt and pepper comes out the nose or the mouth. Okay, they're little kissy fish. They would sit on the table like this. Unfortunately, which I didn't see at the store because of course there was a sticker covering it, there's a chip on the bottom here. Now it's fixable. I don't know that I would fix it. I think this is one that I would just disclose. There's a product out there called Milliput, which allows you to basically patch ceramic pieces and then you can paint over it. So I believe that is fixable. But obviously it's going to affect the price. So I think the price on these guys normally would be, let me see, I think I said 12 to, gotta find them. There they are, 12 to 18, and then less because of the chip. But oh my gosh, look how cute. Now we've had Blue Sky Clayworks stuff before. Okay, so then I found this spoon rest. It is signed, made in Mexico. And it is a Dios de Muertos, Day of the Dead, I believe, dog. Okay. Really nice quality spoon rest. There's a little popped bubble in the glaze right there. But otherwise, there's no issues with this guy. And he's got a little bit of age to him. It says Afa Catereris as the company or artist on the back. In Talavera. So I didn't find this exact piece. I found some photos people had taken of this exact piece, but I didn't find this exact piece in any resale places. But there were some similars that I found. So let me find this guy on here. I paid $2.99 for him. The similars are selling in the 18 to 20 range, and it's chunky, it's significant, it's quality. So I think the 18 to 20 is a reasonable amount for that guy. Okay, let's see, we've covered everything except the Yankee candles, and then I found a broken vase. I'll show it to you. I don't think the thing was over. I don't think the sticker was over the broken piece. I think I just missed it. I was so excited about the hummingbird on the branch because I've got my bird sale tonight. And I saw that it was signed pottery and the price was really good. The price on this was $2.79. And normally for a studio piece, you know, that would be 12 to 18 or so. But because of the condition, so I would assume, see how this comes to a point here? I would assume this also did that at one point. You probably can't see it, but there's a chip right off the top. So, you know, I don't know. It's on the back if someone wanted to display it this way. You don't see it. If they wanted to use it as a vase, it's hidden. But I think it detracts from the value. So I would probably ask like 6 to 8 on it, and just to get it moved along. All right, is that everything? Nope, Yankee candles. So I mentioned them, I think a while back I picked up a big one. These are unburned, but these are the miniatures, okay? And they're in great condition. This one is red berry and cedar, so more of a holiday type scent. I paid $3.99. They sell 8 to 12. So if you see these for a good price, a couple bucks, it's worth picking them up. I did overpay for this, but I figured in the grand scheme of things, it would move quickly closer to the holidays. And I decided I was going to do that. The other one was $1.99. Okay, much better price. Also brand new. It is the honeydew melon scent. It smells so good. So I paid $1.99, and again, they're worth 8 to 12. So that, I believe, is everything that I picked up. That is everything that I picked up. I paid a total of $94.63. The value is somewhere around $375 to $380-ish, $385, and that's estimating kind of low. So we're right around 4 times the value on these things. And, so we'll have to see how it goes. I'm estimating low. I mean, that Coach purse, if it gets the full 119 rather than the 85 that I put into my estimate here, that's going to bump it up. So it was a fun little grand opening. I hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit different than usual, mostly the same as usual, but a little bit different than usual. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see more like on the road videos, actually in stores, maybe some photos, maybe some video clips. Usually the ones that I go to are pretty busy when I'm there because I tend to shop on weekends, unless it's evening after work, depending on the week. Anywho, I hope to see you all at 4:30 for my bird show tonight. Otherwise, just stay tuned for another video. And I think that's all. Have a fantastic week, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye.